Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the PlayStation era of consoles, and by that I mean just PlayStation in general, because PlayStation, funnily enough, for those of you guys that did not know or just didn't happen to notice, was for the longest time the only console that I never had anything of. I never owned any Sony products up until literally the last couple months. Because what's been happening is that I've been going on a shopping spree over the whole entire summer, and I've been collecting old video game consoles and old games, and just in general trying to expand my game library to get anything that I missed or that's a classic, or just getting a taste of gaming history. And I never really had a reason up until now to get anything done by Sony. Because a gaming computer, you can do things like mods, it runs much higher, so really it's a significant jump to make your overall games better if you're just getting games you already have. There's a lot of PC-specific games, there's games that just run naturally better on PC. So the PC is just for optimization. And then with Nintendo just kind of does their own thing. Nintendo has really always just done their own thing. They have their own exclusives, they have their own community, their own niche. And then Sony and Microsoft, they tend to be very similar and very different in their own ways. Like, one of the things I've started to notice is that they have the same game library, but the way that the console runs and the way that the console running affect the game is very different. So, for example, right now you're watching gameplay of me playing Apex Legends on the PS4, because obviously it's free, so I downloaded 3 of my favorite games, which is Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite, because they're all free. That's one of the great things about this current generation of consoles. A lot of games are going the free-to-play route, so there's 3 games right away that I instantly have gotten from Xbox onto here, although unfortunately none of my stuff carries over, so I have no skins, no stats, no nothing. Which, in this skill-based matchmaking, so it's actually kind of nice. But other than that, basically, I am essentially starting from point zero. And the thing is with that, right, is that playing on a PlayStation on the exact same game you've been playing almost pretty significantly on Xbox, for example, there's a couple of things you just notice right away. Like, for example, my Xbox is converted already to the settings I like, the layout I like, it's customized the way I like. I'm also familiar with it too as well. And with PlayStation, I don't have anything customized to my liking except for the basic settings. I don't have any custom dashboard. I don't have any music installed. I don't have certain volume settings adjusted because I haven't needed to figure that out yet up until recently when I was trying to figure out how to do friends' voices. And with the PlayStation in general, there is some things that I like better than the Xbox, and there's some things I don't like better than the Xbox. One I can mention from each of them is that I would say, let's say the thing that I hate first, because then we can end on a positive note. One of the things with the PlayStation that I did not know is that, unfortunately, the PlayStation 4 still suffers from the need for a chat cable. And it's really, really annoying because I want to be able to record my friends' voices. I liked how on 360, you just simply put voice through headset and speakers, and that was it. You just did that, it was all you needed to do, and you could hear your friends, they could talk to you, you could talk to them, their voices get recorded, you don't need any third-party software, it's done. Then the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 both had an issue where you couldn't record either A, party chat, or B, game chat. And then eventually Xbox fixed the party chat part, but you still can't do game chat without an adapter. I thought that was the case with PlayStation. Nope. PlayStation still requires you to have a frickin' chat adapter. So I actually had to scavenge in the back of my dresser and find my Elgato chat link cable, which funnily enough, the PlayStation actually made me look for it to the point where I was actually finding an excuse to make something work. So I came up with not only a better way than the chat cable, but I also found out that the chat cable actually wasn't broken. I had 2 Elgato chat link cables, which, because Elgato is the brand I trust, I went with their chat link cable. And the first one I had, it worked wonderful. It was fine, but it's cheap, it's $10, it eventually broke. And the second one didn't last nearly as long, and I, for some reason, wasn't able to get it to work. It felt like it was even cheaper the second time around. And I found out apparently with one crucial setting, something that is just like so obvious that there's no tutorial for because it's like you should know this already. But I found out that I need to, in the Elgato settings, select the chat link cable as the sound option. And I didn't do that for the longest time. I think what happened was that when I got the second chat link cable, probably what happened was that I updated my Elgato software at some point, and then the thing reset, and I never thought to apply that setting back because I just thought it was automatic or would have kept it. And so I didn't assume that was a problem. I was skimming over with my eyes the whole entire time. And so really the only way I'm optimally going to be able to record my friends is through Discord. So thank God Discord exists. But I will say this on the contrary, other than something like that, which can be a pain in the butt for the PlayStation side of things, one thing I immediately like better than the PlayStation, than compared to the Xbox, is just how user-friendly the PlayStation is. Like, for example, when I looked at the PlayStation for the very first time, I was thinking to myself, okay, like, what is going to be different? And the internals of the console seem the same, like graphics, you know, whatever, stuff like that. But the in-depth or like the user layout is significantly different. Like, for example, when I was customizing my profile and setting up the PlayStation 4, I got a brand new one out of the box. It was like factory settings and all. The thing had so much options. There was like party privacy, friend privacy, in very specific, painful detail too, but it was worth it. It was like, do you want to have it where your voice can be recorded? Do you want it where it's not recorded? Do you want to have your clips shared? Do you want to not have your clips shared? Do you want certain people to add and look at your profile or not? Especially that one. That was one of the things I liked right away. I did not like the follower system on Xbox where essentially people could add you when you don't add them and they still see everything you have as if you were friends regardless, because that led to stalking. And with PlayStation, they at least give you the option to not have said stalking. So I love the party privacy and the privacy of the console already right off the bat. That was a biggie for me. And I do like how the PlayStation just overall has better user interface and like service, it seems like. Like Xbox Live has always had a bad reputation of not having good not having really a good representation of their staff. It's either got like Xbox crashes, or they have moments where the guy you got doesn't speak English, and so you can never have tech support. I guess that's all tech support, but I especially have with Xbox. And the overall support of the console just naturally is better. Now I will say this, there is some things, you know, different for both of them, but those are just two biggies right away. And I actually now own a PlayStation 1 through 4, because like I said, I collected all the old gaming consoles. Like, I did a video about it recently. I talked about how I had a PlayStation 1, 2, and a GameCube. And so now I have all the PlayStations. I have PS1 through 4. I still have the GameCube. And I also have an SNES now, which, for those of you guys that don't know, it's the sequel to the original Nintendo Entertainment System. So it's the Super Nintendo. So really, right now, the only things in console-wise I'm missing from the main trio of consoles, which is Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, I'm just missing an original Xbox, a original Nintendo, an N64, or Nintendo 64, and then a Wii U. And then I'll have pretty much every console from the main trio of console developers. But that's not what we're really getting into. The main point is talking about why Sony gets their own specific video and why I'm picking them specifically. So with PlayStation in particular, I would say overall, I'm very happy with the experience that I wasn't expecting to get. Sony, I never really considered getting your stuff because you seemed almost an identical thing to Xbox. You seem to have like only like a few things going for you, such as exclusives and naturally people liking your platform better and, you know, simple stuff like that. Not something that makes it or breaks it like PC being able to have mods or really just overall superior graphics and fundamentals that make it work better. Or Nintendo where like you're kind of just your own thing. Like you guys have always competed. And with PlayStation, I always knew deep down that the PlayStation 4 was better than the Xbox One, but there's also some things where Sony's not perfect either, and for example, I'm glad I did get a 360 back in the day and not a PS3, because on the contrary of how I've been basically, you know, tooting Sony's horn about the PS4, I also did say I got a PS1 through 4, and the PS3, oh boy, was that freaking horrible to set up. The user interface and the fundamentals of how the PS3 works is god-awful. I don't understand why you can't have a headphone jack in your controller. I don't understand why the user interface was laid out the way it was. I don't understand why that the games just overall don't run functionally. Like, I don't know why you had to make them so complicated to make games for. Like, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are the opposite of what the PS4 and the Xbox One are. The Xbox 360 and the PS4 are the superior consoles of each generation. They just naturally are. And I would say overall, I'm very happy with the different feel, and to be honest, I think other than the exception of a couple of games, and I already was deciding this for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, but I'm trying to always get every console because I don't like having exclusives restricting me from what I can and cannot play, or even with my friends. I'm glad crossplay's fixing that. I'm glad exclusivity is also starting to go away, but I don't like the idea of being restricted from anything, so I'm trying to get all the consoles. I'm just a big gaming fanatic, as you know. So the idea is that despite me eventually getting the new consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PS5, I'm probably going to play on PlayStation most of the time. Other than the exceptions of, like, games that are just stuck on Xbox, like, you know, backwards compatibility or exclusives or just something that might have my stats carry over. But anything new, unless it's exclusive to a certain platform, I'm probably going to stick with Sony. I'm being legit serious on that. I don't know naturally what's going to be better. Xbox could make a comeback this time around, be like the 360, or PlayStation can still keep it. I know naturally PlayStation has been more king in terms of gaming, even though I still prefer Xbox. But there's starting to be a shift. And so, crossplay, exclusives, or anything or not, I'm really starting to really enjoy PlayStation. And I'm very much looking forward to not only getting the new PlayStation, but even going back and still buying games and, you know, investing into the Sony stuff. So, Sony, you deserve your own video because you very much surprised me. You didn't surprise me in a bad way, and you didn't surprise me in a neutral way. You surprised me in a pretty damn good way, I'd say. You made me realize that you're not exactly a clone of Xbox. You're really just kind of like similar and kind of get put into the limelight as if you were another Xbox. You really are your own console, Sony. So for the PlayStation 4, I'm very happy with my purchase. Same thing with even the PS1 and 2. The PS3 I could kind of quite care less for. That actually was not, you know, something. In fact, I kind of mildly regret it, but not really. Like, I would say that Sony 3 for 4, that's a pretty good record. And I would say that I'm really looking forward to just the consoles that are coming out this year in general. I mean, shit. With all these new consoles coming out, I'm really looking forward to the games that are coming out, what functions can come out, and just overall what the gaming community will evolve into. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it other than that for today's video. I hope you guys ended up enjoying. Let me know if you want to see any PlayStation content from me in the near future, because I'd be more than happy to do it, because right now I'm still getting the recording setup functions done. I still got to figure out what works, you know, Sony-wise. But yeah, if you guys want to see any Sony-specific content or PlayStation content, feel free to let me know. And any of my PlayStation subscribers and fans and viewers and everything, feel free to add your boy on PlayStation. The PSN is Mr. Black Ninja, all one word, and Mr. is the only difference other than Black Ninja 797, because Joseph made a Smurf account that had my actual Black Ninja 797 name. So if you find that, that's Joseph Smurf. If you find Mr. Black Ninja 797, which, like you're seeing on screen, that's actually your boy. So make sure you add me on PSN and I can play with you guys. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this Apex Legends win gameplay. Peace out, guys. Here comes Bangalore. Bangalore and your bubble. Okay, thank you, Zach. I was gonna say, I saw your health bar ticket and I was like, bro.